Divorce in America is a rising problem. According to Jennifer Baker of the Forrest Institute of Professional Psychology, 50% of first-time marriages end in divorce, 67% of second-time marriages end in divorce, and 74% of third-time marriages end in divorce. Many of you have either previously gone through a divorce, are currently going through a divorce, or are thinking about going through a divorce. While I have obviously never been married, I'm surrounded by family members who have shown that it's not impossible to have a lasting marriage in today's society. My great-grandparents were married for over 50 years. My grandparents have been married for over 45 years. My parents have been married for over 20 years, and my aunt and uncles have been married for over 17 years. I've talked to all of them, and I've come up with the list of two keys that will help to ensure that you have a lasting marriage. The first key is using good judgment when you're picking out your spouse, and the second is to establish a firm level of commitment with your spouse before you get married. When picking out your spouse, it's very important to establish that you have a common belief system with that person. This includes having common beliefs both religiously and politically. While it can be said that opposites do attract, it's very hard to maintain a marriage if you're not in sync with your partner in some important issues. So when you're looking for your partner, you need to make sure that they have similar religious values. If you don't, it's inevitable that when you have kids, problems are going to arise. For example, what holidays is your family going to choose to celebrate? What school is your child going to go to? Are they going to go to a public school, or are they going to go to the private religious schools? What holidays are you going to celebrate? What church are you going to attend on the weekends? These are some examples of the problems that will arise if your religion isn't the same. And of the people that I talked to, they decided that their marriage and their religion helped bond them together and made them closer. It's also important that you establish similar political views with your spouse. While true, you may know couples that are happily married and have differing political views, it's important that you have similar beliefs on some issues like gay marriage and abortion. It's going to be easier to maintain your marriage if you establish that there's some common ground. You also need to establish that you and your spouse have common life goals. For example, if you have your heart set on having children, and you need to make sure that before you get married, your spouse also wants to have children. You'd be so surprised at the amount of couples who get married and are married for a year and then find out that one wants to have kids and another doesn't want to have kids. But then you're stuck. If going to college or pursuing an education is important to you, if you want to get your PhD or your master's, you need to make sure that your spouse is going to support you in that and help you achieve your goals. It's also important at the same time to establish what your family is going to be centered around. Is your life going to be centered around your family, or is it going to be centered around a career? And if you decide that it's going to be centered around your family, you need to make a commitment with your partner to commit to holding each other accountable and making sure that your life is always centered around your family. After you've established that you and your partner do have common ground and common beliefs, you need to establish your level of commitment with them. According to dictionary.com, the definition of commitment is emotional or spiritual attachment to something or someone. Marriage is commitment. As soon as you put on the ring and say, I do, the word divorce needs to be taken completely out of your vocabulary. It's no longer an option. There's going to be ups in your marriage and there's going to be downs in your marriage. And when you hit the downs, it's not an option to get out of it. You just stay with it. When you exchange vows, couples put on a wedding ring. The wedding ring is a symbol for undying love, and it's a circle because you're continually renewing your vows with your spouse. And it's worn on the fourth finger because the Romans believed that there was a vein that ran from your fourth finger to your heart. So a wedding ring is a symbol of commitment, and it's a circle that can never be broken. Social science research indicates that many new couples today are not getting married because the high rates of divorce are scaring them off. But don't let this worry you, because it can be done. Today, I have told you the 2 keys of making sure that you have a lasting marriage. The first key is using good judgment when picking out your spouse, making sure that you have similar religious beliefs, political beliefs, common life goals. And also establishing your level of commitment to each other. Before you even get into it, make sure that you're both committed to each other, and you're going to be there during the good times and the bad times, and that one of you isn't going to bail out. If you can follow these 2 keys and make these a priority in your relationships, you will be well on your way to having a strong, fulfilling, and most importantly, a lasting marriage.